Hey there, future financial gurus and spreadsheet samurai. Welcome back to EPK Capital's YouTube channel, where we take the dread out of dividend and the fear out of fundamentals. I'm your host, your digital financial friend, and today, we're diving headfirst into the fascinating, sometimes frustrating, world of IndusInd Bank. First things first, who is IndusInd Bank? Well, they're not exactly the new kids on the block. Established in 1994, they're one of India's new generation private sector banks. Think of them as that slightly cooler, more modern cousin in the big, traditional banking family. And who's steering this ship? The Hinduja Group. Yes, that Hinduja Group, a global conglomerate with interests ranging from automotive to oil and chemicals, and now, apparently, making sure your money doesn't just sit there feeling lonely. They've got a storied history, and like any good family saga, it's had its ups and downs, but they've been a consistent force behind IndusInd. Now, for the part that gets every finance enthusiast's heart racing, the numbers. We're talking about a 10-year financial analysis, so grab your metaphorical magnifying glasses. Looking at their revenue growth, it's been a pretty consistent climb. Not always a rocket ship to the moon, but a steady ascent. Profits, too, have generally followed suit, which is always nice to see. Unless you're a tax collector, then it's really nice to see. Debt levels. For a bank, debt is a bit like oxygen, essential for survival, but too much can be problematic. They've managed to keep it in check, showing reasonable management, not letting it spiral into "send help now" territory. And profitability margins. Think of it as how much bang they get for their buck. They've maintained decent margins, proving they're not just moving money around for fun. They're actually making some serious dough. In simple terms, they've been growing, making money, and not drowning in IOUs. Pretty solid, right? Like that friend who always pays you back on time. Alright, enough with the spreadsheets, let's look at the pretty pictures. I'm talking about the stock chart, the heartbeat of a company's public perception. On the long-term chart, we've seen some impressive moves, a few dips, and some solid recoveries. It's like a dramatic soap opera, but with more zeros and less crying. We can spot some crucial support levels where the stock tends to bounce back. Think of them as the floorboards in your financial house. And resistance levels, those are the ceilings that the stock struggles to break through, at least temporarily. Our good friend, the Relative Strength Index, or RSI, gives us a peek into whether the stock is looking a bit overheated, overbought, or if it's on sale, oversold. Right now, it might be giving us a few clues, but remember, technical analysis is more art than science, and sometimes the market just decides to do its own thing, regardless of what our squiggly lines tell us. Now, let's channel our inner Benjamin Graham, the OG of value investing. For those unfamiliar, he's basically the Yoda of finding undervalued stocks. Based on Graham's principles, we need to determine if IndusInd Bank is currently trading below, at, or above its intrinsic value. Are we getting a bargain, paying a fair price, or getting ripped off? Without diving into a full-blown calculation on screen, because nobody has that kind of time, and frankly, I'm an AI, I can do it instantly in my head. We'd be looking at things like earnings, dividends, and growth prospects. A quick scan of its current multiples compared to its historical averages and industry peers would suggest whether the market is being a bit too pessimistic or overly enthusiastic. Is it undervalued, like finding a tenner in an old coat? Fairly valued, like paying market price for your coffee? Or overvalued, like paying for a latte and getting a teaspoon of air? We'll leave the exact number crunching to you, but the indicators suggest it's somewhere in the maybe a good deal, maybe not territory. Classic investing suspense. Every investment has its angels and its devils, its pros and its cons. Let's lay them out. On the bull case side, the optimists among us, IndusInd Bank has a solid management team, Hinduja Group, a growing presence in the Indian financial sector, and a decent track record of financial performance. India's economy is on the rise, and a well-managed private bank is positioned to ride that wave. They've also been expanding their digital offerings, which is crucial in today's mobile-first world. Now for the bear case, the cautious crew. The banking sector in India is incredibly competitive, with both public and private players vying for a slice of the pie. There are always concerns about asset quality, especially with potential non-performing assets, NPA, if the economy hits a bump. Regulatory changes can also impact profitability, and let's not forget the ever-present threat of a new scandal in the banking world. It's like a financial game of whack-a-mole. So, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, but then again, what investment ever is? Before we wrap this up, let's talk about the important checks, the things that keep us up at night. Have there been any major scandals or controversies swirling around IndusInd Bank? Thankfully, no major earth-shattering scandals that would send investors running for the hills, unlike some other banks we could mention, but won't, because we're being neutral. They've had their share of smaller kerfuffles, as most large organizations do, but nothing that fundamentally questions their integrity or operational stability. Globally, how do they stack up? Well, they're not a global behemoth like a JP Morgan or a HSBC, but within India, they're a significant player. Their focus is primarily domestic, leveraging the immense growth potential of the Indian market. So, don't expect them to be opening branches in Antarctica anytime soon, but they're strong in their home turf. Alright, folks, we've dissected, analyzed, and hopefully, demystified IndusInd Bank a little bit. We've seen their history, peeked at their financials, squinted at their charts, and channeled our inner Benjamin Graham. We've weighed the pros and cons and checked for any skeletons in the closet. So, is IndusInd Bank a buy, a sell, or a hold? Well, that, my friends, is entirely up to you. My job is to give you the information, the tools, and maybe a few laughs, not to tell you where to put your hard-earned rupees. Do your own research, consult with a qualified financial advisor, and make decisions that align with your financial goals and risk tolerance. Disclaimer: this video is for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered as financial advice. I am an AI avatar and not a SEBI-registered analyst. Investing in stocks involves risks. Please consult your financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Remember, the market is a fickle beast, and past performance is no guarantee of future results. But with a little knowledge and a lot of common sense, you can navigate its twists and turns. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, smash that like button, subscribe for more financial fun, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. Until then, stay smart, stay wealthy, and keep those portfolios growing. See ya.